I was born and raised in Jamestown. I'm a real city boy in Accra, the oldest part of Accra.
Hi universe, today I am in the streets of Accra and I'm not alone, I'm with the ever beautiful Vanessa. So today we are heading to where? Jamestown, oldest city in Accra. Hi guys, so we're in the beautiful city of Accra, Ghana. I am here with the ever beautiful Vanessa. Say hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was just trying to keep
Okay, so today we are going to where? Where are we going to today? So today we are going to Jamestown. Been to Jamestown before.
I haven't.
She haven't been to Jamestown. I've been to Jamestown before, and I don't know, when Vanessa told me let's go to Jamestown, I was like, I'm not really happy. I'm not happy because I had a bad experience there, and ever since I don't know. But that's a story for another day. There's this trauma you get when you have something happened to you at a particular location, and you are going back to that place. Like you start, the thought or the memory of that thing will just pop into your head and all of that. So that's the anxiety I had, but then we can do this. So today we're already in Accra. We're heading to Jamestown, and I learned that Jamestown is one of the oldest.
It is the oldest, no one.
Oldest city or craft city or what? Oldest what?
Oldest city.
City in Accra. Wow. And based on research, I learned that Jamestown is also the center for this arts and that's why they have the Chalewate thing and all of those arts festival and all of that. So today, Charlie, Ghana is hot. See the way I'm dripping in sweat. Hey, Asemo. Yeah, so we're heading there and we want to take you guys along with us. I don't know how this adventure is gonna go, but I believe and I know it's gonna be super fun. When you see Vanessa and you see blue, just forget.
I feel like I'm tired, and I'm not even tired.
Oh my god.
I don't know, maybe it's the weather. And I'm wearing a jean jacket. I don't know what happened.
Who wears jean jackets?
Me, because I like cover my body.
Oh my god. So yeah, we're already there, and guys, enough of the talk. If this looks like what you love to see, keep watching the video. Yenko.
You don't even know me like that. Are you pressed for time? Put you on my mind. Come a little closer like that. Staying up all night, throwing drinks back. Blue eyes smiling while you're cursing. I admit it's working. You're working. Don't care, you're crazy, it's perfect. Shaky and I'm slurring, 'cause I'm nervous.
The sun is kissing me, and I am proud of it.
That's on you. I'm nervous that it's.
So guys, we are currently here at Jamestown. Whenever I see this thing on Snapchat, I'll be like, I want to take pictures here. So I'm finally here.
Lighthouse.
Yes, Lighthouse Store. So we are here and we're about to explore the oldest city. I said oldest city.
Oldest part of Accra.
Oldest part, thank you, but that's why. Oldest part of Accra and everything. So I'm already excited because I'm feeling the energy on the streets already, and yeah. So what do you expect? What are you expecting?
I just want to see what the place has to offer, basically.
Okay.
Yes, that's all.
That's all. Okay, Yenko, let's go.
Well, it was our first time there, and we never knew that we were supposed to pay some amount of money to enter into the place and also to pay for tour guide. But we got to negotiate the price because it was just too much, and yeah.
When you go into the fort, it's 30 cities each person to visit. When you go closer to the fort, it's also 30 cities to visit. When you go into the slave dungeon, it's also 30 cities each to visit. When you are done and you are with the tour guide, what you do is you pay the tour guide as well. Not 500 cities, but if like a tour in Accra, but when you want to film the person, putting the person on the YouTube, the tour guide charges you. But the way you are Nigerians and I call 500 cities and you don't understand me, how much do you like to pay?
Meet our tour guide.
Where would they be looking at?
Introduce yourself.
Yes, and then hello everyone. My name is Niakwe. I'm a king from the Dutch palace. And
Are you from Accra?
I'm from Accra. I was born and raised in Jamestown. I'm a real city boy in Accra, the oldest part of Accra. I was born and raised in Accra.
Okay.
I was born in Jamestown.
Okay. So today you're taking us to where exactly?
And because Jamestown is the oldest part of Accra, we have a lot of interested places when you guys arrive, you visit. And moreover, you guys really sound Nigerians.
We are Nigerians, proud Nigerians.
Yeah, I'm also Nigerian.
Really?
Yes, please, because I'm a Ghan tribe. A Ghan tribe migrated from Nigeria, from Ile-Ife. So every Ghan tribe in Jamestown comes from Nigeria. So we are both together. We are both one people.
Okay. Yeah, so what is that particular thing you should know or one should know about Jamestown?
Nice question, my beautiful queen. And then once again, as I spoke to you about my name, Jamestown is the oldest part of Accra. It was Portuguese and the Swedish in Cape Coast. That was 1471. And Danish and the Dutch and the British were here into 15th, into 16th centuries. But it was British that really stayed for a long period of time here. That is why Jamestown is the oldest part of Accra. The history really starts from Jamestown British. So moreover, when you guys come to Jamestown, we have so many things that the British slave masters did in Jamestown here. Example like the lighthouse. It was built in 1833 by British. The fishing community also was built in 1633 by the British. The same thing applied to the white building over there, which used to be the British fort. That's Fort James. It is also built in 1633. Used as a slavery activities. After they stopped the slavery, it became the prison. So the first Prime Minister of Ghana, Dr. Nkrumah, that is where the British jailed him in 1950s, before it became the Prime Minister. So inside over there, we have slave marketing place, gate of no return, female prison and a male prison all inside there. And then the prison was just abandoned on 2007. And then down here used to be the first port and harbour we have by the British. When we had independence 1957, the Prime Minister abandoned the port and harbour we have by the British to Tema. So over 17,000 population of local Ghanaian people were living over there. But due to technology vibe, they need to renovate the British harbour. That is why they kick over 17,000 people out. Wow. And now it has been given to the Chinese people.
Wow.
And then we have the British Palace as well. That's the palace of the British. The British governor used to live in there. And then when we overthrew the British away, the British governor went with them. So we have more things to see. Let's move to the two monuments over there for you guys to see more. So what we have over here, it is a drinking fountain by the governor of the Gold Coast, 1910. Most of the slave masters that were having an affair with our great-great-grandparents, this is where they do fetch water here. And it was built by the governor of the Gold Coast, 1910. And the British governor used to live in the British Palace. So it was him that built this for the British slave masters to fetch water in here.
So there's no more water inside?
It's no more working because it has a gold lion head and then it breaks up because the head is gold. Let's move to the second monument. We have more to see. So where we are, this one here, it is a grave of one North American, Master and Supercargo. He is the Western's notorious slave master who shipped a lot of slaves to so many countries. He died in a British fort and he was being buried here. And his name is Joseph Davidson. When we talk about his name, we have a lot of people in Jamestown here that carries the name Davidson. Slavery was abolished in Ghana in 1700s. And this man died in 1820s. That means after slavery, this man was still here raping a lot of black women to have children with.
Wow.
And he left the children here.
And he left the children here because it was Gold Coast women that he was, excuse me to say, he was like dealing with them, raping them. And then he names them with his name. So when it comes to Jamestown, almost 20 to 30% of black people in Jamestown carries the name Davidson.
Wow.
Davidson.
Yeah.
So we are now going into the British fort and for you guys to see more. British. It is used as a slavery activities. After they stopped the slavery, it became the prison. So this is where Nkrumah, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, this is where the British jailed him in a year in 1950s. And then the reason why he was being jailed here is that in 1950s it was revolution time, and we do not have independence. And then each and every member of Gold Coast have got to know the evil things that the British slave masters were doing to our people. So everyone has accepted that Nkrumah needs to be jailed here in a year in 1950s. And he came out in 1957 and we overthrown the British out. And then the name Gold Coast became Ghana. And then the meaning of Ghana is warrior king. Yeah. We are going inside to see more. So let's get in. You bend.
Okay.
My people, we are in a British fort, that built in 1633. And then the story I pointed to, the grave, let's go and see where the story of that man, let's get in. So this was the story of the man I pointed to you, Joseph Davidson. He is the master of supercargo, the Western's notorious slave master, who shipped a lot of slaves to so many countries. He died in 1820s and he was being buried outside. And then earlier on I spoke to you about the name Davidson. A lot of Ghanaian carries his name, Davidson. This tells many of the Ghanaian people that this man is a bad man, evil man that did a lot of evil things to our people in Jamestown here. Which now many of people in Jamestown are trying to change their names into different vibes. Let's go and see where Nkrumah was being jailed and then the slave marketing place. Watch your head.
Okay.
So this is where the Prime Minister was being jailed. Sajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He was being jailed here in the year in 1950s. In 1950s, let's get in.
Oh, it's so dark. So people stay here.
Only him here for a year.
No lights, no nothing.
No lights, no nothing. Him alone here for a year in 1950s. Food, water upstairs here like this. They drop food and water down here for him. Only him. And that was the bed of Nkrumah. This is where Nkrumah sleeps. That was the bed of him. Only him here that sleeps here for 12 months.
Wow.
For 12 months. It was only him. And the reason why it was only him is that he knows that every Ghanaian member is fighting for him to get independence. And Nkrumah has a league, he has a group of people that are known as the Big Six. So the Big Six were the founder of Ghana. So when he was staying here, the 5 of them were staying outside waiting for him to spend the 1 year in this room. So when he spent it out, he spent the 1 year. They came in here and brings him out.
Okay.
Food, water, upstairs here like this. He does everything here. He baths here, goes to toilet here for 12 months.
Wow.
The British slave masters does not want us to get independence. So the processing is they want Nkrumah to find it in hard condition for him not to be able to survive. That is why they put him in this room for 12 months. And he came out in 1957, and then we overthrown the British away. And then the name Gold Coast became Ghana. And then the meaning of Ghana is warrior king. Warrior
This
king.
place is too hot. So human being was here.
Yes, please.
Jesus, guys, I'm sweating. I'm literally. I'll show you guys. I am sweating. Look at. I am sweating. Like, what's that?
We're going this way.
What? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Over 60 slaves in one room.
60 slaves?
Over 60 slaves in one room.
Are you kidding?
The reason why they put a lot of people in one room is that they know that the black people are very strong and we can overcome them. So what they do is they pile a lot of people in one room like sardines, so that when it's time for them to ship them, it becomes very soft for them to throw them into the ships.
Wow.
That is why they put a lot of people in one room. And these are shackles.
Wow.
These are shackles, slave shackles. Wow. These are slave shackles. So let's go and see the slave marketing place.
Wow.
marketing place I'm talking about. When the slaves were being kept in their rooms, and then finally they bring them out, and then this is where they market them and do sells them. And then in terms of slave, like selling slaves, the slave masters does not use money to buy the slave. They have something they call barter trade, because they also came with a lot of natural resources from Europe, candles, alcohol, mirrors, gunpowders, guns, and etc. So they do exchanges with the slaves. So when you give me 200 slaves, I give you 400 people. When you give me candles, I do that. So that's how they go exchange. Finally, when the slaves were being sold, that's the door of no return.
The what?
The door of no return.
The door of no return. People died there or what?
When you get there, you never return back.
Wow. The door of never return.
That's the door of no return.
Guys, I'm at the door of never return or no return. If you come through this door, you're not returning. You are gone. Like you are gone.
When a slave at all that comes out from that door of no return, you see where I'm standing. It was having a passive through that takes the slave to the ocean. The ships are there waiting for them, and they send them to so many countries. But after we stopped the slavery, it became the prison. So for the prisoners not to escape, they have to close it, and that's where the prisoners showered. And then moreover too, a lot of Ghanaian slaves were the slaves that picked from here to Brazil in Bahia. Many of them returned back in 1830s in Jamestown Fishing Harbour. One went to Togo, one went to Niger, and 5 of them stays in Jamestown Fishing Harbour. Where the place where they settle is closer to the Dutch area. So the Dutch king and the Dutch chiefs went there and approached them. The first language that they spoke with our people is Tabon. Because we wasn't understanding the Portuguese language, many of our people have to return back and speak to other people who might understand the language. But due to certain things, we still don't understand the Portuguese language. So many of our people have to go back and brings them and give them a portion in the Dutch area, which known as the Brazilian house. The leaders gave them a portion in the Dutch area, which now is still known as the Portuguese house, which known as the Brazilian house. Due to that, every Ghanaian speak good Portuguese, because when they settled, they started having an affair with many of the black people. Due to that, every Ghanaian speak Portuguese. And also we have a lot of Ghanaian as well that has a lot of Portuguese names. When you come to Ghana and you heard the name Nutrot, it's also one of the Portuguese names. When you come to Ghana and you heard the name Ansin, it's also one of the Portuguese names. Azuma as well. And then let's come to the tunnel again. Loading slaves from this tunnel to the ships takes about 3 to 4 months before the ships become full. Wow. So when they are loading them and the ship is full, if a slave is left from the tunnel, instead of the British slave masters to return them back to the dungeons, they refuse, because they does not want people to hear about the slavery, or they does not want people to see that they are taking people to different countries. What they do is that the rest of the slave, the British slave masters need to kill them, but they can never kill them physically. So if it is 30 slaves that were left in this tunnel, what they do is they bring all the 30 out, and this is where they keep the 30 slaves in. So this room is known as waiting for the next ship. Waiting for the next ship. So if it is 30 slaves that were left in here for 6 months, do you think they will survive? No food, no water. Do you think they will survive? Wow. So in between the slave masters, they know that you have to die in there. So this room is known as waiting for the next ship. But between the slave masters waiting to die. So this room is known as waiting for the next ship. That's what they tell the rest of the slaves. So cell 6, each what you get. I mean the prisoners. You know, in Ghana we have a lot of crimes to bring people in this place. So it became cell 6 as each what you get. You know, we have a lot of like crimes like murderers and robbers. When such people were being caught here, for people not to like, for them not to announce, for them not to like vibe with other people with guns and those things. That's where they keep them here. For them not to like influence with the others. And then this place was just abandoned in 2007. So 2006, the prisoners were here. They even watched the African Cup of Nations here, Ghana versus Nigeria. That's Ghana versus Nigeria, 2006, the African Cup of Nations. And then 2007, it was abandoned. The reason why they closed this place is that this fort was purposely meant to kill black people. So if we've had independence, in other words, they should never keep black people in here. That is why it was abandoned in 2007. We have a lot of prison in Accra here, in Sawam, in James Camp, and different places in Accra.
Oh my goodness. So easy.
You like my vibe, right?
Yeah. So, guys, I'm learning a lot. Seriously, I am. So,
Have by the British.
the first port and harbor.
Yeah, that we have by the British. And then when we had independence 1957, the Prime Minister abandoned the port and harbor we have by the British to Tema. So over 17,000 population of local Ghanaian people were living here. But due to the politicians' vibe, the leaders and the Chinese make one and break over 17,000 ounces down, and now it has been given to the Chinese people. And then you see where the lighthouse color is. That used to be the point of no return. The slave that's where they land and then they load them into the ships.
Wow.
But now the Chinaman has changed it as sea defense. And then the main occupation here is fishing. So these are the local boats we use for fishing.
Okay.
Something like this goes very far, 200 miles, 300 miles, 400 miles. Even these boats go to Calabar.
Wow, really?
They go to Calabar. A lot of Ghanaian boats fish in Calabar, from here to Calabar.
Wow.
Goes very far. And then the name of the wood is known as Wawa tree.
Wawa
The
tree.
bottom is one log from Ashanti region. They carve it, and then after that, they start fishing with it. And something like this lasts for a long period of time, 60 to 70 years before it got spots.
Wow.
The main occupation in Jamestown is fishing and boxing.
Oh, okay.
That's the main occupation in this town.
Okay, so the thing is that can we go explore the boat? Or?
Sure, if you want to go there, I just give you a direction to there. You see how it goes on in Jamestown.
Oh,
there.
I'm done with it.
Yeah,
already. I
okay.
think we're
Yes,
done.
I'll show you there.
Wow. So you mean
Also, I wanted to ask
Okay,
a question because you said the place was sold to Chinese.
I mean, due to technology vibe, they need to renovate the British harbour.
Yeah.
So it has been given to the Chinese people, and they will be in charge and fish.
Okay,
here.
they're just in charge of renovating it.
Yes,
and
please.
now They run
They are in charge of renovating it.
Okay.
so I want to ask a question. You can see how far that place is, that tunnel.
Yes,
so
please.
these people pass under the ground.
Yes, please.
Jesus,
yes,
guys.
Please. Yes, please. Yes,
Jesus.
please.
So people don't die under the ground.
Many people died there.
How?
When they died, we have a town in Jamestown that known as the Vawulence town. That is the place whereby black body were being laid over there, and then vultures eat the flesh
How?
of the black slave.
Wow. That's crazy because that thing is far. It's like 300 meters. It's like 300 meters to get there.
Yeah.
300 to 400 meters to get there. Under the
The
ground.
reason why it is like that is that the slave masters does not want the black people to have it soft. They want them to go into hard situation, so that when they were being taken to the ships, it become very soft for them to throw them into the ships.
Ah, wow.
You know, I went to the Mina Castle and
That
it has
is
like
Cape Coast.
similar, yes, in Cape Coast. It has like similar horrible stories. You know, I'm not too surprised because I've heard like a lot of horrible stories about these castles that were in Ghana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think Ghana was like the main port of the whole
Yes,
African,
yes,
neighboring
please,
African
yes,
countries.
please. Even
So they'll bring
even
up
people who are
slaves
being
here.
taken from Nigeria,
Yeah, and they bring
Togo,
them
all
here, and then
places
they'll
to here.
ship.
Yes, please.
Wow.
The day I went to
In Calabar, they also have a slave
Castle,
castle
yeah.
over there as well.
Wow.
Yeah. The interested part is Jamestown British.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Guys.
So in Accra, we have 3 types of Accra here.
Okay.
We have Danish Accra, which known as Osu.
Okay.
We have Dutch Accra, which known as Sempe. And then we have British Accra, which known as Ododo Diodo. But because the British slave masters couldn't pronounce it, it was changed into Jamestown.
Town.
And moreover, I have to tell you the secret about certain towns or certain regions in America and in Jamaica. Okay. I'm sure you guys have heard about America.
Yeah.
And you guys have been also hearing about Kentucky State, right?
Okay.
Do you know Kentucky State was named after a king in Jamestown here?
Really?
The real name of Kentucky State is known as Nintaki. Nintaki was the king of Accra, who was the slave masters was deceiving him because before they gonna deal with those kings, they have to like make a party, get them some drinks for them to booze. So later, by the time you realize, you do a lot of things that you might not believe, because the slave masters tried to deceive the king and the queens in our town as well. So the real name of Kentucky State is known as Nitaki, and Nitaki was the king of Accra, whom a lot of slaves were pushing by him to the slave masters. So the slave that brought from Nitaki's hands to the state, for them not to get lost of their roots, they have to name the name after the king, Kentucky State. But the real name is Nitaki. And then in Virginia State, they also have a town over there called Jamestown. They were the Ghana slave picked from Jamestown, Ghana, here to Jamestown in America, Virginia State. And then you guys have heard about a town also in a country called Jamaica. You guys have heard.
Yeah.
The real name of Jamaica is Jamaica.
Wow.
Jamaica, that's Ashanti language. And that tells the slave that we have stuck from this land. We can no longer go back to Africa. And then one of the slave masters rise up and says, I'm gonna use that name to name the town, Jamaica. Okay. But the real name is what? Jamaica. Jamaica, that's Ashanti language. Jamaica. And that tells the slave that we have stuck from this land. We have blocked from this room. We can no longer go back to Nigeria again. And then that name becomes Jamaica.
Wow.
Do you understand, my people? Yeah, so Rastafari. Much love, my people.
Well, guys, if you made it to this part of the video, I must say you are my real VVIP and I love you so much. If at this point you've not subscribed, please smash the red button to subscribe and also turn on the notification bells whenever I upload a video like this. You'll be the first to get notified. Guys, until next time, stay safe. Remember, Jesus loves you. See you on my next video.